out the weak from who you've been. Can you win this war you're in? Is your point laborious, or will you rise victorious? So take it or break it. Take it or break it. Take it or break it. Earn your throne.
Welcome to Take It or Break It, the sports takes discussion of your dreams or your nightmares. I'm your host, Corbin Smith. With us for the third episode in the row is the second chair, the unofficial good boy of Take It or Break It. It's John Wilmes. Johnny, how you doing?
I prefer the title Shadow Government President.
Shadow Government President of Take It or Break It. You know what? I honestly respect it. It's as legitimate a title as any. What's going on, John?
Just trying to calm down.
What's happening? Is everything okay?
More or less. You know, we've talked about mental health on this podcast before, haven't we?
Certainly, I'm a anxiety sufferer.
As am I, and it's something I've gotten a hold on mostly, but recently stuff's coming back.
Oh no!
So,
I had a little relapse recently too, if you must know.
Yeah, you know, we have to become more self-aware. We have to become more ourselves. I believe.
I had to go back and see my OCD specialist again, and so
yeah, I had to go back to my therapist on standby today. So
yeah, I see a therapist every week, but I saw two therapists this week.
You doubled down.
Yeah. Also, I bumped up my meds a little recently.
Oh, did you? I've never done that.
You never done what?
Meds. I've never been on meds.
Oh, I'm a fan.
I bet I'd like it. Well, one time I had an unprescribed sleeping pill habit.
Oh, John.
Well, it was literally just to sleep though. It wasn't like, you know. I wasn't getting fucked up.
Yeah, SSRIs, like, I cannot imagine how you could possibly abuse them. They're mostly just like, you know, you feel less.
Well, it takes a while to make an impact on you, right?
Like 2 weeks. It builds up a half-life.
Right, so that's not the kind of thing that you abuse. You abuse the things that give you an instant sensation.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Anyway, I'm trying to calm down. So just I've been having a recent episode.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
You know, yeah, well, you know, I just want in keeping with the NBA's trend of talking more transparently about mental health. I think we should do it here as well.
What are you doing about it? You gonna do any breathing exercises or anything?
I went to therapy. You know, sometimes I feel like I feel very compelled and feel like obligated to do things based on what other people think, you know, I need to do, and like what other people think that people generally need to do, when it's not really me, it's not really my pace, it's not really my style.
So you know, breathing, meditating, that's just not your style.
Oh no, that's not. I'm not really addressing that. I'm talking about life things.
Oh, okay. And you get anxiety about this.
I get anxiety about this because people think like, oh, you have to take action on this thing like right now, and I'm like, but I'm not ready. I need time. And then like everybody's telling me that I have to like do something right away, and I'm like, I start becoming an anxiety boy.
Oh no.
You know.
Yeah, I know.
People don't always accept my approach and my style.
My approach and style just frequently straight up doesn't work for me, so I usually accept those criticisms with a
I want to be in situations where my approach and style does work for me. So, ultimately, I'm not trying to change my nature, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
Some of it is heteronormativity. You know, people thinking you need to like behave a very specific way in courtship and relationships, and like imposing that on everyone else, and me trying to like do it my own way. You know,
John, it's okay if you want.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm trying to accept. It's
ass
okay.
play, or somebody to.
Well, it's not. You know, that's not really what
it's
I'm talking.
Okay if you want somebody to strap you with a fuck on, or pardon me, fuck you with a strap on.
Listen, although that is not something I am.
Look, there's a world of pleasure possibilities in the prostate. I'm not here to.
Not something I'm stigmatizing.
I'm not here to judge you.
Or rejecting the prospect of. Who knows?
Ladies.
But that is not actually what I'm talking about.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. You're talking about emotional things.
More emotional courtship. People just saying, you know, you got to do this right now, you know. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that, you know. And then they're like, well, this is the way that like these things work. And I'm like, oh my God, don't tell them like you're the expert on this now, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I don't know if I quite do. I don't present in such a way that people feel comfortable impressing their expectations on me. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
Like, you know, like I got, you know, I'm a little aspy-ish and things like that. And so when I'm like, nah, that doesn't work for me. Like, I just don't usually care about what anybody else will say about it because I don't tend to kowtow to stuff like that in the first place, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I don't really kowtow either, but for some reason people think I might, or they think I have to or something. But I like to do things my own way.
Big John carving his own path here. Take it or break it.
It's my own path. It's my struggle.
Excuse me. I just drank a LaCroix. So.
Oh, I'm drinking one too. What flavor?
I was a passion fruit.
Oh, I'm doing orange.
Orange.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had passion fruit before. I had to go to. I left my. I don't know if you read my column today, but I wrote about my incredible accomplishment in going to the pharmacy and getting my pills at 7 and making a bus at a 9:00 or 9:00. You know. Anyway, I wrote about catching a bus because I didn't have anything else to write about, and but anyway, I left the pills at Maureen's house, my girlfriend Maureen's house, and I had to go to Target today to get a little refill for the next 3 days because I'm not going to see Maureen for a few days. And so while I was there, I got myself a little box of passion fruit LaCroix.
Gotta say that's an okay thing to do.
Yeah. Johnny, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Society tries to tell me, a man, can't drink a passion fruit LaCroix. So I'm validating your decision. Thank you. I feel validated.
Can you validate something about me?
I'm
asking you as a friend to do that.
I mean, do you need me to think of the thing off the top of my head?
It's kind of up to you.
I enjoy having you on the podcast.
Oh, that's cool. You think I'm living my life the right way?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I don't know.
You don't think I'm fucking it up or anything like that?
No, not really. I don't know. You make more money than I do.
That's. I don't even. Well, probably. Yeah. I haven't thought about it.
You definitely do.
Hey.
Yeah. I don't. You work with the youth of this world. You put a lot of sincere energy out there. I think you're doing all right, John.
Yeah, that's what I'm having trouble with, though, is putting sincere energy out there.
You don't need to every day. A lot of times you do.
True. I mean, I could do it in friendships and in professional ways. When it comes to, like, relationships, I have a very hard time exposing any level of yearning or desire, and I mostly just don't do anything at all. Mm-hmm. And that's a hurdle that I'm trying to trying to adjust.
You know, I think I have that problem here and there too, because I can tend to have sort of flattened emotional responses to things. And I don't know, sometimes it's an issue. And I don't know, I just try to sort of expand it and, you know, take the moments when I have really intense feeling and sort of hold them in my hand and, you know.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. This has been feelings talk here on Take It or Break It.
It's important.
Yeah. I mean, you know. Apparently I'm the only one who thinks the show should be about sports, but...
That's kind of like the central and enjoyable tension of the show.
Oh,
right?
is that I think it should be about sports and nobody else does?
Your constant struggle to hold down the fort, which is constantly under siege.
Yeah. Because, like, everybody wants the show to not be about sports.
Right. And mostly it's like, I don't know. At least when I'm on, it's probably like 40% sports, maybe.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Anyway, other than your complicated emotional journey, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, I have some time off this week. One of the schools I work at is on spring break, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
One of the public colleges I work at, and you know, I went to a wedding over the weekend. I bought some new shoes today. I also got new bike tires.
Oh, wonderful!
Yeah, I just spent a lot of money on new bike tires.
You know what? Good. I'm glad.
You're glad that I just spent money?
Yeah. Yes. It makes me happy to know you're pouring it into capital.
All right.
I just started riding again recently. My tires are doing all right, I think, but
yeah, I had the same tires for like, I don't even know, because when I bought the bike, they had these tires and it was used. It was like 3 years ago when I bought it.
I think I can never remember the thing that holds your pedals. You know how you've got the pedals and the pedals are attached to arms?
Big old gear.
The big old gear. I think my big old gear is getting a little...
I had to have mine replaced last year.
Wheezy. It's when I was riding out to Target today, I was really hearing the...
Yeah. I was dealing with that last year.
One time, I
sort of accepted it for a long time. I just sort of accepted that noise.
I'm kind of a bigger boy. One time, I tore that thing in half.
Ooh.
Yeah, like that little pole that attaches the two pedal arms. I was biking and I put enough pressure on either side that like the bar just sort of split in half. I took it to the bike guy and he's like, I haven't seen this one before. Biking while fat is a real like adventure. Like you have to get equipped with like crazy tires and like or crazy wheel rims. Thank you. And you do weird things to your bike. One time, my bike, its frame just tore. It's just like it just like split in half while I was riding it.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
Haven't had that problem.
Yeah, I got a free bike though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that's something that doesn't make any sense.
It's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, and I took it in and I said, yeah, what the fuck? And they were like, yeah, I guess we're gonna give you a free bike. So Trek gave me a free bike. So
shouts to Trek. Dude.
Shouts to Trek for giving me a free bike that time. I tore my bike in half while riding up a street near my house. And I didn't know what the hell happened. And then I looked down and I was like, huh, well, that's new.
Cool, man.
All right. We solicited for topics a little earlier. We're going to talk about a few of them. We might talk about another thing I had John read about, but we might talk about that next week.
It's long.
Yeah, it's long. And it's like kind of old. Somebody reminded me of it today, and I wanted to talk about it. And I've never had the chance to personally talk about it.
We'll do it next week.
Yeah, let's do it next week.
Yeah.
I think I need a little refresher on it anyway. All right. Spike Friedman, friend of the program, wants us to talk about World War I.
What about it?
Spike doesn't say.
No, that's true. He just said World War One. One time I was at a party when I was in college.
Uh-huh.
I was young. I was probably a sophomore in college. And my friend and I, Mike and I, started doing this thing where we just like sort of invented a game. Not a very complicated game. So to claim invention of it is not some sort of big claim or anything. Basically, the whole game is we just call it either or, and you're just like, oh, like, you know, chocolate or vanilla, but then like it escalates and gets more, you know, think PC. And we were like World War One or World War Two, and like in a totally abstract sense, obviously they're both horrible. And so we were talking about this, and we were young, and we were very bad at you know, flirting or talking to women or anything. And this girl came up to us hoping to talk to us and flirt with us or whatever. And we asked her if she preferred World War One or World War Two, and she just kind of didn't like that and just sort of walked away from us.
You know what? You don't need somebody like that to spend time with you. Somebody who can't formulate a World War One versus World War Two opinion.
Yeah, you know, I think you're probably right, actually.
Which one did you guys land on? Do you recall?
I think that I ultimately went for World War One just because not enough people were standing for it.
Uh-huh.
And I felt like it had a really profound impact on the human imagination. It kind of goes unnoticed because of how much, you know, how large the impact on humanity World War II was, how literally nuclear it was.
I will say, you know, if you're into jaded cynicism as like a concept, or if you're into the idea that human nature is maybe not so good, like World War I is such excellent proof, and World War II really is like mediocre proof. Right.
World War II is more about spectacle. It's like, yeah, okay, like just because of, you know, like a collection of very powerful people push these buttons, it's not necessarily a condemnation of the species, you know?
Yeah. World War I is like the horror of man itself.
Yeah, it was a very collective effort to fuck over people. And it was like rooted, of course, in like fucking colonialist struggle, which is like already like really bad even before you get into war.
Yeah. And just moment to moment an unbelievably horrifying conflict. Everything ever written about it was just like, this is bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Whereas with World War II, it's like, this is bad, but it is ultimately noble, blah, blah, you know, all
right?
Horseshit.
Which is of course wrong.
Like the end of World War I was so bad that it just set the stage for World War II.
Dude, World War I was so bad that it turned Ernest Hemingway into a writer.
Yeah, that guy should have done literally anything else.
Yeah, but like the human condition was just so weakened by the end of that war that his literature was considered valuable.
All right, John. Come on.
What?
Slandering Hemingway? Is it good? You feel good?
The
man is dead.
He would have wanted it this way.
He would have wanted you to slander him?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, World War I, no good though.
No, I mean they're both bad. Let's be real.
Some excellent movies about World War
Like which ones?
Paths of Glory.
Haven't seen that one.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, that's classic. Really long.
Very long, and also I think a little more properly cynical. Lawrence of Arabia. Paths of Glory is unbelievably cynical. Lawrence of Arabia is more normal, kind of cynical. That's really all I can think of off the top of my head. Just two movies.
Classic, dude. Two movies.
So,
In response to Spike Friedman's saying just World War One, everything that we just said, that's the response.
Yeah. 2 classic movies. That's what we have to say about World War One.
A couple of popcorn classics.
PDX Brochelite, John, over on Twitter, wants us to talk about fast food being way more expensive than you think it's gonna be.
It's a thing that happens to me for sure. I think that I remember I saw the lead up to this tweet. He was tweeting about, I think, McDonald's.
Yes. He decided the McDonald's burger was too expensive.
Which I think means the Big Mac, probably. I don't know. I've never had Big Mac. I don't like when fast food is more expensive than I think it's going to be. What can I say? I don't eat as much fast food as I used to. There's a lot of options in downtown Chicago to eat like sort of fast, like upscale and healthy.
Get
like,
a slice, if you will.
No, not even like a Mediterranean bowl.
A freshie. Something along those lines.
Roti, Mediterranean grill, much better than Freshie, in my opinion. I get that.
Fair enough.
I get that probably twice a week, TBH. And
I myself am a vegetarian, so I also do not really eat fast food.
You would like this roti. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a little more expensive. It's not that bad though. It's like $9 for like a lot of food.
I haven't eaten fast food and
it's not exactly. I guess you could.
Like
it's sort of like a Mediterranean Chipotle or something. You know?
Oh yeah.
It's listen. I like it. People like the bowl. The bowl thing is big. Probably elsewhere too, but definitely in Chicago. Lots of bowl options.
Yeah, because people don't
like
want
to take
eat wraps anymore.
Yeah, wraps are over, and you take it to your desk, and you can just sort of peck at it all day.
Yeah, because they don't want the carbohydrates.
Right. Although, like, there's always usually a carbohydrate additive option, like whether it's a pita or a piece of bread or something.
Certainly.
With these bowls, and let me tell you, I take that option.
I mean, old John Carbs over here.
I like that stuff.
Carbohydrates?
Tastes good.
Yeah, me too. I like it too much.
Carbohydrates should be like a flavor. It should have like a carb flavored LaCroix.
John, that's you're describing soda.
Am I?
Yeah, you're describing like Pepsi or
Oh. No, but like a flavor.
I guess you're describing diet soda?
Yeah. Which I don't like.
Yeah, well, me neither. That's why I drink. Soda is also not something I've had in like a decade.
That's good, man. You shouldn't have it.
No.
It's bad for you.
Yeah, it's bad for you.
It's basically poison.
All right. Okay, Alex Jones. So.
Speaking of Alex Jones, we had very probably sarcastically suggested that we do a segment on the show where we talk about which NBA players are crisis actors working for Soros.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I had been going off on Twitter about how Golden State Warriors rookie Jordan Bell is a crisis actor. Who's just sort of out here to sort of create another narrative to make the Bulls look bad. It's all part of like the liberal.
Oh, I see. You feel like everything that happens in the NBA is a plot to make the Bulls look bad.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick of it, honestly. Soros needs to get a new hobby.
There was some sort of crisis actor NBA related talk around the protest in Washington because some NBA players helped bus in protesters.
Oh, really? Who were they?
Carmelo paid for a few buses, and I believe LeBron did as well.
Well, those guys are both obvious crisis actors.
Yeah, I mean, you see those hats Melo wears, like.
Yeah, dude, you don't wear that stuff without having some sort of pre-written, like ideology.
No, but you know that guy Jack Probasek?
Oh yeah, the fucking Pizzagate guy.
Yeah, one of them. He was. Maybe he's not he might be a normal guy. He might be a less than Pizzagate guy. I can't remember. Maybe we're all Pizzagate guys at this point, you know?
I think he was a Pizzagate accelerator for sure.
Pizzagate accelerationist.
Yeah, I bet definitely.
He was operating the oven, so to speak.
I would say so, yeah. I think that's apt.
Yeah, he was like wandering around being like, mainstream media won't show you this. There's buses here. It's just like, yeah, how do you think people got to the protest?
Yeah, I don't think that's,
yeah,
you know,
it's called
weird.
It's called political organizing, you fucking dumb shit.
Well, public transportation, yeah.
It's not. It wasn't even public transit. You know, it was charter buses, but it was like.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Also, that's the guy who got caught on Bumble after he got married.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
I know so many dumb conservatives because of the internet now.
I try to not know that much about
you know
them.
what? I'm okay with knowing it.
There was like definitely like a sort of influx of, you know, interest in those types. Like when Trump got nominated, it's like, how did this happen? And then it's like, oh, look at all these like Will celebs on the internet, Will alt-right celebs, examining the culture. So it was like interesting for a minute. I feel like Charlottesville is when I like was like kind of like I don't really need to know too much more about these guys.
The watching all of them lose their minds over the school shooting kids has been odd.
It is odd. It's weird. It's like that's sort of like it's just very weird the way that the things that it takes for some people to see like the evil of like the Republican machine, because like I mean long standing before the villainization of school shooting survivors is the indifference to, you know, school shooting victims who have died. But like somehow like this tasteless smearing of like teenage activists is like more distasteful than the indifference.
It's also
to
like
life.
Exactly what the kids probably wanted to happen in a certain level.
Yeah.
Right?
Without of course the reality apathy, because there are people who legitimately believe some of these fictions being put forth by them.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Did you see that Ben Garrison guy? Did you see the like he had the kid's head stuck in the middle of an AK-47 in this drawing he did?
Oh my god, what the heck?
Yeah, it's like that guy probably spent 2 hours drawing that, and at no point thought maybe I should not have a clip of bullets that say Marxism getting fed into a school shooting survivor's gun mouth. Probably not,
man. I agree that's a bad look.
Yeah. Look, I'm not Paul Manafort or anything, but I'm pretty sure that's not that's not a good way to do politics.
Probably not.
Next topic. Liam Pierce.
What's the next topic?
Liam Pierce wants us to talk about Darjeeling Limited.
Oh yeah. So I kind of wanted to talk about the Wes Anderson stuff. Yeah. What do you think about Wes Anderson, man?
I like Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah, me too. I'm almost sort of a basic bitch when it comes to Wes Anderson movies. Like they just like work on me in way too Pavlovian a fashion.
Oh yeah.
I'm watching them and I'm just sort of like I feel like a lab rat, you know. I'm just like oh, so delightful. Even though like I know like, you know, I took fucking cinema studies classes. I know like a lot of what he's doing, but it's like it's fucking delightful. I don't know. I just love it. Darjeeling Limited is probably his worst movie.
Yeah, but Darjeeling Limited is certainly his worst movie. I think it was coming up this week, and somebody said Darjeeling Limited was the best one, and I just couldn't even. I couldn't not comment on it. I was just like, "What are you talking about? Like, it's bad. It's
clearly his worst. I think
it's so sloppy.
Like it was just he got to a point in his career where like, you know, he felt like he could do anything basically because he'd had such a hot run for a while, and then I think he just like it was a heat check movie. I'm gonna put it that way.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I can make a maybe a little racist movie.
Right. navel, just like very navel gazing.
Yeah.
Has a lot of a lot of sort of cultural blind spots, as you suggest, and it has like way too much like writing from other people. I feel like Schwartzman was too big a part of the screenplay or something.
Schwartzman's too big a part of everything he's involved in.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far.
Yeah, that's
but
not fair.
He's a good actor. I think he's a really good actor. But I don't think he should be part of the screenplay writing process. But anyway, yeah, that's not a good movie. And it also like tries to like be one of these things that's like, hey, this is like a movie, but also like I could write fiction if I wanted to. Like this is almost like writing fiction, you know? And I feel like that works on a lot of people. They're cool with it. But like when you happen to be somebody who like writes, you know, and like that is coming at you from like Hollywood production, it's like super like annoying and like just like sort of, it's just, you can smell it from a mile away. It's like a way tamer version of like Sean Penn's new book.
Oh, are you trying to transition into talking about Sean Penn's new book?
A little bit, yeah.
Can we pause and finish West Talk real quick?
Yeah, let's do that.
I think that I think that it is to his credit that he made a movie that shitty and managed to eventually make good movies again.
He bounced back. What was his next movie? It was probably good.
It was Fantastic Mrs. It was the Fox one.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, I've actually not seen the Fox one, but then he made Moonrise Kingdom,
which is also one of my least favorite, to be clear.
Oh, I actually really like Moonrise Kingdom.
Most people do, but I just the kid acting is just, I can't get over it. It's bad.
And Hotel.
Right, that one's fucking awesome. That's
the Grand Budapest Hotel is probably my favorite.
It's fucking good. Dude.
It's so good. And can we? Okay, let's back. We'll get to the second part of this but like, part of the reason it's so good is that Ralph Fiennes is like unbelievable in that movie.
Yeah, he's the engine of the movie. He's incredible.
Yeah, I think the best of those movies are the ones that sort of pivot around really awesome performances. And Ralph Fiennes is so fucking good in that movie.
It's amazing. Yeah,
it is though a movie that quite literally pretends towards being literature. Like it literally uses it as a framing device.
That's true. It's just so good that it doesn't bother me.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, having like 3 white dudes on a train in India be like the thing you put into that framework is just a lot more distasteful, I guess, than having like a fairly like a pretty international cast. I feel like pretty multicultural cast in Grand Budapest.
Yeah, relatively.
And it's large. It's a large cast.
Also, it's I think it's his first movie that is at least a little bit about politics, kind of.
Yeah, very allegorically, but yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, it's about weirdly enough, it is about World War I, more or less.
That's true.
But all that stuff's just sort of like hovers in the background a little bit. Or I guess it's about World War II. My bad. Never mind.
I saw that movie on a date, and it wasn't me. And I don't know if it was my date or not, or somebody else sitting by us, because it was a full theater. But somebody was farting the whole time. And I, of course, was never comfortable asking my date, like, hey, were you farting that whole movie?
The difference between you and me is that I definitely would have asked.
You definitely would have asked. Well, this is like our second date, so like...
Still would have asked.
Still would have asked second date.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Hey, man, that's fucking romantic, honestly.
Yeah, and if she says, how dare you, then I go, hey, you're not the one.
Hey, man, you don't want to talk fart
yeah.
talk?
Can't talk farts for even 5 minutes, lady? Get the hell out of here. Hit the road.
I definitely, at some point around the 4th or 5th date, might start bringing up bowel movements. Because it's honestly a topic of discussion that I enjoy talking about.
And not even like talking about shitting?
Yeah, not even in like an immature way, like in a very practical and hands-on type of way. Like
you like to get hands-on with your shits?
I mean, not literally, but like I I like to talk about
Got 'em.
what kind of diet leads to a quality stool, for instance. And so if we're out to dinner and I feel like we're having a high fiber meal, I might mention that this is going to lead to some proper stool. And I get a range of reactions to that type of thing.
Lately I've been approaching my toilet and perching up on the seat to facilitate a squat.
You got to get the squatty potty.
Yes, I know I probably do need to get the squatty potty, but lately I've just been
too. I don't have it either.
I've just been straight up like standing on a toilet seat and crouching.
I have a sort of collective of friends who believe, basically one of my friends just sort of bought one for a bunch of them, right? Like he was like,
not you know?
No, there was like
you
a
love
bunch
talking
of people
about shitting so much, though.
I know, but it was just like a bunch of people who were dating each other, so they were like all sleeping over at each other's houses.
Oh, what?
So they just like, I know, dude, it's a little much, but so they were just like all had like one summer they just all got these things, and my friend Luke went on to say that the squatty potty was a bullshit product invented for people with a fixation on shitting. But I disagree. I think that it's great. I love using it.
And but in fairness, you do have a fixation on shitting, though.
I mean, it's something I do every day.
Every day? There's probably been a day where you didn't shit.
Can't remember that happening. It's one of the few things that I do every day, right? I breathe, I drink water, I sleep, I walk, I shit. So.
Do you sleep every day?
Pretty much. Sometimes I don't sleep a lot.
All right.
Sometimes I don't eat a lot.
You ever take up a fast or no?
No, I don't really take up a fast. I just get really anxious and have no appetite sometimes.
All right. Okay. This has been Fast Talk here on Take It or Bring It.
Sean Penn, though. Sean Penn.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Sean Penn's a horrible book.
What's it called?
I have to
who just do stuff?
Yeah. Yes. It's unbelievably pretentious name.
Yeah, it is. You have to what? You have to confess something.
I won't say that I've been 1,000% engaged in this story.
Okay.
So
you want to hear some good shit?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So there's some excerpts that you're gonna need to hear real quick here.
Go ahead.
So there's one here. This is from the book. She begins to writhe, cackle, and cough out her laughter uncontrollably. Her eyes watering, she nearly poos. Bob spies what might be a dime-sized and expanding moisture blossom from her rear end center, signifying perhaps some minimal ass piss. That's just something that's in there.
John.
Yeah.
What's ass piss?
Just like, wetness that comes out of the butt, I guess. Here's another one. That one's just like sort of like annoying. And this one's more annoying to me. It says, whenever he felt these collisions of incubus and succubus, he punched his way out of the proletariat with a purposeful inputting of covert codes, thereby drawing distraction through Scottsdale deployments, dodging the ambush of innocence astray, evading the Viscount Vogue of Viagratic assaults on virtual vaginas, or worse, falling passively into prosaic pastimes. The fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
So much alliteration and so many words that make no fucking sense. He also wrote a poem. I don't know if it's in the book.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the poem where he laments the downfall of everybody who got bit by the Me Too bug.
Right. I mean, it's amazing that he survived it, more or less. He's kind of a bad dude.
Seems like Madonna denied the one thing, but
yeah, probably because she was scared.
It could be the case. She did it a while after they were divorced. Also, she is very wealthy.
She is very wealthy. She could hire somebody to murder Sean Penn if she probably could do that if she wanted to.
Not to spend.
I just really think that El Chapo shouldn't have taught Sean Penn alliteration.
I thought you meant the podcast for a second. No, El Chapo, the drug lord.
Yeah, I think that he's the one who taught Sean Penn to write that way.
Yeah, probably. That makes a lot of sense to me.
And I never had an El Chapo opinion, but now I resent him.
Because he gave us all this garbage Sean Penn prose.
Yeah, he has very bad, prose teaching skills. So
what's El Chapo up to right now, I wonder?
Probably doing a workshop, telling somebody that their writing makes too much sense.
Criminal status. He is currently imprisoned. 63 years old. Good Lord.
63, okay.
Oh, he got extradited to the United States. I see.
Okay.
Escaped twice. Twice,
buddy.
2 times. Well, congrats to the Mexican and American governments on imprisoning El Chapo, the infamous drug lord.
We got any basketball stuff to
Take
talk
it or
about?
break it salutes you. The authorities who imprisoned El Chapo. At work, the cycle wants to know, who's the best NBA player who never won MVP?
This was tough. Did you have an answer?
I was going to work through this with you a little bit.
Right.
If we talk purely about, can we start with this generation?
Yeah, we can start with this generation. The best player in this generation who hasn't won one is about to win.
Oh, really?
Harden? Yeah.
Oh, Harden. I guess perhaps maybe I'm referring to the previous generation, but I think that the best career currently in the NBA that does not have one is probably Dwayne Wade.
Oh, he's really good. I might go Chris Paul or Dwayne Wade, though.
I think Dwayne Wade is pretty decisively better than Paul. At the very least, he has had a better career.
Dwayne Wade's had more, traditional glory, but I don't know that it's that clear that he's been a better player.
It's a real... Oh, excuse me.
I'm a Chris Paul guy. I actually think that Chris Paul might be the best player to not win the MVP.
How about how about we slide back a little bit?
Let's slide back a little bit.
So I think in this decade, Harden is about to win MVP, but I think that so far he is the best player. Who is the best player currently, other than Harden, who has not won MVP? You think?
Some of these guys are just they're too young to. They're coming up on their years where they will win it. But I think Kyrie Irving is really, really good. I think he's MVP. Yeah, that's your opinion. But listen, like I said, that's your opinion. But he's coming up on years where he'll be, I think, a consistent candidate.
Will he? You sure? I don't think so.
If doing an annoying voice is the only counterpoint that you have, I feel good.
Well, he's insanely bad at defense. And
that's actually not true.
Okay, I guess he used to be. Now he is not currently anymore. My apologies.
Yeah, he just played on a team for most of his career that, fundamentally just forsook defense, basically.
He's not, particularly good at shooting or... mostly drives the rim. He doesn't really rack up assists at an incredible level. He doesn't provide anything as a rebounder. I just think I think that perhaps he's a good, efficient scorer and not much else.
You can believe whatever you like.
Well, thank you, and I will continue to do so.
Anyway, I think that he'll be on there, but yeah, in terms of guys who are more in those MVP years or have had those, who are the best dudes? Let's take a look. Maybe I don't know. There aren't that many, honestly. I'm we'd be tempted to say something like Paul George, but I don't think he's really ever been that good.
No,
not that good anyway. Giannis will get there where he's more consistently in that category.
Yeah, that'll probably be a year or two away.
I think that this is the first year where Damian Lillard has really been up.
Speaking previous years, I would say, Dwight was very good.
Dwight played some MVP seasons.
Probably should have won the year Rose won, if we're all being honest. But, do you or I or literally anybody want to say that he's the best player who never won an MVP? You know what I mean?
I don't want to say that, and so I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Dirk won it, right? He's won the MVP.
He did win the MVP.
Yeah, just once, but that's about how many.
Yeah.
About how many he deserves.
You know what? I think Dirk's a great player. I think that's fair, though. I think he deserved one MVP.
That's I think that's the case with most guys who have won it or should win it. Is one. All right, you go with one. Kobe won one MVP.
Yeah, he probably should have won 0.
I would be fine with 0 on the Kobe.
Perhaps he should have literally never played in the NBA.
I would have been cool with that. Yeah.
I'm looking.
Anthony Davis will probably. I think he'll probably win an MVP, as long as he can stay healthy. I think that in terms of I don't think that he should actually win this award, but the most unfairly not included in this conversation is Rudy Gobert, in my opinion.
I agree.
We're just not really even though people I think value defense more than they used to, we're still just not set up.
Gobert is just so extraordinarily good at defense. In the previous in the 2000s, I think. And I'm sorry. In the 1990s, I think it's relatively clear that Stockton is the best player who did not win an MVP.
Yeah, Malone won once, but Stockton never won.
Yes, and Stockton was probably better than Malone.
Yeah, Gobert hasn't even won Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, he will soon, though.
That's true. He missed a lot of time this year, so he won't win it. But, I think people are trying too hard by giving it to Draymond or Kawhi, just because those guys are I think their impact is a little more visible, and more fun to watch defensively. But Rudy Gobert just has such
you just don't score at the rim.
You just don't even try.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Anyway, in the 90s, I think it's probably Stockton. I'm doing it at this exercise, and you're doing it as a different exercise.
Sure.
And I respect that, but I really want us to hew down and do it as my exercise. So in the current decade, it is currently Harden, but it will not be Harden for long. In the previous decade, it is either Wade or Chris Paul, probably.
Mm-hmm.
In the 1990s, I would say it's almost certainly Stockton. Ewing, perhaps, but not really. I'm
good with your inclusion of but not really. Sean Kemp was extremely good in the 90s.
Yes, but Sean Kemp's career did not go on for very long.
But he had some MVP level seasons.
You could argue Peyton was better than him.
You could. Olajuwon won it one time.
Olajuwon did win, so
I had to look that up.
He should have won twice, probably. David Robinson is heinous.
I don't know if he's
Michael
heinous.
Jordan, of course, never won MVP. That seems a little unfair to me.
Yeah, he probably should have won the MVP.
In the 80s, it's a little more scattershot.
My knowledge is also less impressive.
It is. Sitting here looking at win shares leaders, I'm not really pulling up a bunch of dudes who dominated in the 80s and didn't manage to win an MVP. Jason Kidd, another player in the 90s who was very good and didn't win an MVP. Drexler. Everybody who needed to win MVP in the 80s pretty much won it, I think. Dr. J, Moses, Larry Bird, Magic. That's the 4 best players of the 80s, pretty much.
Yeah.
70s. Now we're really at the edge of my knowledge.
Oh, yeah. I don't even... I don't have anything to say, honestly.
Artist Gilmore is really super fucking high in the win shares acclamation here. But he probably won ABA MVP. So does that even count? Can we truly say?
Can't say. Can't truly say.
Cannot truly say.
All right, we're moving on.
Wait. Let's do the 60s real quick.
Dude, this is pointless.
I was gonna say Oscar, but he actually did win MVP. Congrats to Oscar Robertson. You know who didn't win MVP?
Who?
Jerry West. And you know why he didn't win? Because he was dog shit, and everyone knew it.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't give the MVP award to bad players.
Yeah, it was to shitty fucking players like Jerry West, for instance.
Oh, yeah, right. So that's a perfect example of a bad player.
Yeah, that's like a really good example of a dude who's bad at basketball. Fuck Jerry West. Sean Woodley. We're gonna tackle two Woodleys here. Anyway, I think it's Dwayne Wade. What do you think, John?
Chris Paul.
Okay. Sean Woodley wants to know, rank the sports by how good their respective playoff formats are. Hell yeah.
Basketball. I mean, tourneys are good. The NBA playoffs is technically a tourney. I like the NBA playoffs the best. I mean, obviously, I just like the sport the best as well. But I enjoy like a 7-game series because you just like really get to know the players and their interactions with each other.
And how much they hate each other. Yeah, that shit rules. I think the NBA playoffs are own. I think that everybody who wants to change them in stupid little ways is completely incorrect.
Yeah, I think it's been a little bit broken in recent years, mostly last year, just because there's been a lot of, I don't know, there wasn't a lot of suspense last year.
Yeah. But it was just a bad year. I think that was just because it was a bad year. It didn't have anything to do with anything needing to be fixed.
No, it wasn't even the Warriors. I mean, like the Warriors were obviously going to win, but it wasn't even that. It just like there weren't like any good series really.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. But like,
that was just like a weird fluke.
It was just a bad year. What are you going to do? It'll be better this year.
Yeah, there are going to be a lot of missing superstars though. Like Steph's going to miss the first round. Kyrie's probably going to miss the first round.
Kyrie's out for the year, isn't he? Am I crazy?
No, it's unclear. He might be. He's like on a 3 to 6 week recovery thing. Oh. So there's inevitably going to be. I'm actually writing a column about this right now for Real GM. There's inevitably going to be like this, like should he return thing that happens like while they're in the playoffs, and the Celtics are going to have a hard time beating anybody without him in the playoffs. So it's going to become a bit of a thing, and it's like his body is going to go into the crosshairs basically, right? And so that's kind of what I'm writing about. But they'll probably, if they end up playing like the Bucks or something, like I don't know if they can beat the Bucks without Kyrie.
Yeah, because Giannis might just spend 7 games tormenting them.
Yeah, they need somebody who can just go back and forth with that guy. But if they don't have Kyrie, they don't have anybody who can do that.
Yeah. Second best, I don't know.
NCAA March Madness. Why not?
It is a little like, I feel like you don't really learn anything.
I mean, it is basketball.
Yeah, but I also feel like it's just so like random, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of like cool though.
I'm not as into that.
You're not into it?
Nah, I'm good. Nah, I want proof a little bit. You know?
I get it.
It is a tournament people enjoy, though. We hate this none, right, John?
No.
You make me sick, John.
Why would I hate the nun?
I don't know. Because, I don't know. I just feel like I should be able to say, you hate the nun, right? And I don't know. You should be like, yeah, I hate the nun.
You can say whatever you want, man.
You know,
I'm not trying to erase your ability to feel that way. I just don't.
I hope Loyola
honestly
loses.
Don't know that much about it. What?
No, I hope Loyola loses, and I hope the nun. Is so sad that she dies.
Well, that's a little much.
Yeah.
I live in Chicago, man. I want Loyola to win. That's something that I obviously want.
You can go to Loyola.
No, I didn't go to Loyola. I have a lot of friends who did, though. I hang out in that
Where'd
area
you go, John?
from time to time. I went to the University of Iowa for undergrad, and I went to the Art Institute here for overgrad, as they call it.
Why don't they call it postgraduate?
They just call it graduate school. That's where I went for that, which does not have any sports teams, my graduate school.
Because it's
not
an
at
art
all.
institute.
Yeah. No, there's actually a somewhat well-known podcast by some alums from my school. And it's like an art podcast called Bad at Sports, which I think is a bit much. It's like, oh, sports ball, like, we are so weird that we couldn't even possibly comprehend sports. It's like, I don't know, It's like, that's like a...
You're just such a jock that you're.
Yeah, that's too much of an I'm interesting signaling type of thing. Like, oh, my sports, I couldn't possibly comprehend it. I'm too interesting and too not normal.
Why'd you go to Iowa?
A lot of people go there.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I was 18 or 17 when I decided where I would go, so I can't really tell you that it was a terribly informed or intentional decision.
All right, fair enough. NFL has a very goofy playoff format, I suppose.
It's fun.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. Maybe I'm wrong. Baseball's playoffs are a lot of fun, but they also just don't prove anything at all.
No. Baseball, no. It's all about just like when your starting pitchers get hot.
Yeah. Hockey has basketball's playoff format. People will lose their goddamn minds over how good the hockey playoffs are, but I'm a basketball writer, so I never get to. Also, I don't watch hockey on TV and understand what's going on.
People care about hockey here.
Yeah.
Because the Blackhawks.
Oh, yeah, the Blackhawks. Yeah.
They're missing the playoffs this year, I guess. But there's a bar right down the street from me that's like a Blackhawks bar. And I was just there. I don't even know when they're playing. I just give so few fucks. But we were there before a playoff game. We were at the bar, and all of a sudden we realized like all these fans came in, and they give everyone in the bar a free shot. And there's like 60 people in there or something. It's all getting this free red shot. So we just took the shot and then left as soon as the game started.
Every year I'm like, maybe I'll watch some playoff hockey. And then I just don't.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't know. I get bored when I watch it.
I have like absolutely no team I could even feasibly root for, I don't think.
No, you would have to go so far south.
Or no, I mean the Canucks, I guess.
Oh, you could go. You could be a trader. You go over the border.
Yeah.
I'm a basketball trader. I'm pulling for the Raptors to make the finals now.
You are?
Yeah, I want Rockets Raptors.
I don't know what I want.
Well,
I'm not allowed to say I want the Blazers to make the finals, am I?
You're allowed to say that. I'm gonna allow that.
But like, I'm not really allowed to say it,
You just said it, so it doesn't even matter.
You know what playoff I love? Tennis.
Tennis. What's the playoff in tennis? You mean just like the big tournaments?
Just the big
Wimbledon
tournaments.
Stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool.
I just think that shit rules. Like that definitely like proves something while still being like a compact thing.
It's pretty comprehensive. If you win that shit, you're pretty much the best.
Yeah, you're like really fucking good at tennis. Like you don't generally fluke into slam wins.
At least for that moment, you are the best.
Yeah. I like that cricket doesn't really have playoffs. It's just that occasionally they just play for 4 days in a row.
Just for occasionally.
Yeah. Just every once in a while we play for 4 days in a row, and that maybe proves something.
It might.
I think that the basketball NBA definitely has the best playoff though. Last question. Also from Sean Woodley, Raptors fan. Sean Woodley.
Hey.
Also, offer advice to somebody who hasn't ridden a bike in 10 years, who maybe wants to become a cycling boy.
Just get up.
John and I were both cyclists. I think both of us say, just get on that bad boy.
Just do it. Get up on there.
Yeah. Sounds hard as you think.
Don't be intimidated.
Find some greenways. Find some greenways that are like a few miles long. Just ride up and down them and like realize that like that's probably already within your reach. Like riding 3 miles on flat distance is probably already in your reach. And just like knowing that will be the stepping stone to getting better at riding up hills and longer distances.
Yeah, and I would also say don't be intimidated or like bullied by the people who take biking too seriously and try to make you feel like you're doing it wrong or whatever. There's no wrong way to do it, man. Just get on the bike. Go.
My one recommendation that those people wouldn't give you is get a bike that fits.
Get a bike that fits.
Yeah.
You know. Used is fine. I bought a used bike. I'm happy with it.
Mine happens to be new right now, but
I bought a used bike for $150 3 years ago. I've probably at this point put about that much back into it and work done, which is not that bad.
No. I spend significantly more than that per year on mine. I'm once again, I'm a big fat guy though, so like I'm pretty hard on bikes.
And of course, you got to get the very best lock available to you. It's almost like you're not buying the bike if you don't buy the right lock.
What do you? I just get a U-lock. What do you do?
Well, that's basically as good as it gets.
Yeah, get a U-lock.
Yeah, and when you lock it, make sure that you lock the frame, but also put it through a spoke so that you're also locking.
Only on the front tire, though. You don't need to.
Only on the front tire. Yeah, because the back one's not quick release. Yeah. Usually. So that's some bike advice for you.
My favorite bike I ever owned, I got used. It was an old Schwinn. It was like really heavy.
An old Schwinny.
Yes, an old Schwinn. It was really heavy. It was just it was like incredibly hard to maintain. So I did not keep riding it, but I still own it. And it's just it's like really heavy, and when you like get up to speed, like the gears are also not very good. But like when you get up to speed and you're like peeling down a greenway on that bad boy, that is nice. That is good biking right there.
That is some nice stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Where do you ride, John?
The only place I don't really ride in Chicago is I don't really ride downtown because it just gets a little too intense and unpleasant, honestly.
You just ride it. You just like ride around the city.
Yeah, just unless I'm going downtown.
You don't do rural excursions.
No, some of my friends do. They'll like ride their bikes out to like someplace in Indiana or just someplace west of Chicago in Illinois, or like up to Wisconsin or something. A really popular thing to do in Chicago is to ride it on the lake shore. I don't live very close to I live pretty far west of the lake, so I don't do that. But people do that a lot.
Yeah,
people
I like to.
The lake.
I like to get out. I like to get out into nature, ride a greenway or two.
Yeah, that's not really a strength of Chicago life, is the experience of nature.
They got good bike infrastructure there.
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, it's really flat, so.
Oh yeah.
That's helpful. A lot of
Portland's like that too.
A lot of bike lanes, just a lot of acceptance of bikes. There's definitely assholes who act entitled and act as if you don't have a place on the road. But not that many.
Portland is obviously like a notable cycling city.
It is.
So.
But it's not as flat as Chicago.
It's pretty flat.
Listen, I've been to Portland. It's not as flat as Chicago.
Well, I apologize. Never mind.
Yeah, no, you should apologize for sure.
John, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, I have a Blazer game to watch, so we're going to stop recording more or less now. Do you have anything to promote?
Just my feelings. Just to catch my feelings out in the ether.
If you can avoid it, you don't catch John's feelings. I have a column on Vice Sports, and I have a thing on Deadspin. I went up today.
Yeah, everybody reads both of those, but particularly the Deadspin thing.
Yeah, it's about Star Trek.
It's good.
Deep Space Nine, America's show, and the baseball episodes of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Why did I write it? I don't know myself. Hey, rate and review this podcast on iTunes. if you want to promote something, contact me over at Corbin A. Smith. I'll set up a way for me to do that for you. And hey, there'll be another episode on Friday, so listen to that. And thank you for listening, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
See ya. Bye.